Hi and welcome to Annalise Maths. Today we're going to look at how to order and compare fractions. When ordering and comparing, we need to understand the concept of equivalent fractions. Now, equivalent fractions are fractions that have the same value. They are equal. Please check out my video on simplifying fractions, as by simplifying you are making equivalent fractions. So you can make equivalent fractions by multiplying or by dividing. Dividing is the skill we used in simplifying fractions, both the numerator and the denominator by the same amount. You can only multiply or divide, never add or subtract. You have to scale them up equally. And remember, only divide when the numerator and the denominator would still be whole numbers. You can't have a decimal on top of a fraction. Our main rule to remember, as with most things with fractions, is whatever I've done to the top, I need to do the exact same to the bottom or vice versa. So, for example, if I had a half, I could scale that up as well as down. I could choose any number, so let's say 8. I could choose any number, and as long as I do the same to the top as I do to the bottom, it's an equivalent fraction. So 1 times 8 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16. So a half and 8/16 are equivalent fractions. I could have done it with anything. So again, if I say a half, let's say times 100. 1 times 100 is 100. 2 times 100 is 200. So 1/2, 8/16, and 100 200ths are all equivalent fractions. As long as I've done the same to the top and the bottom, I've formed an equivalent fraction. This is the skill we need when we're ordering and comparing fractions. There's 2 ways to order and compare fractions. 1, make them all equivalent fractions, or 2, convert them all to decimals. We'll look at this in a later lesson. We also need to understand some of the terminology we might be used. Ascending is small to big, and descending is big to small. So if I'm asked to order fractions in an ascending order, first thing I need to do is convert them to equivalent fractions, then put them in order small to big. Descending, biggest to smallest. Okay, let's have a look at an example together. So put these fractions in order of size, starting with the smallest. So I've got 4 fractions here. At the moment, there is nothing I can do. I can't compare these fractions because they're all different. So what I'm going to need to do is put them all in equivalent form. So make them all so they have the same denominator. So looking at them, which times table could I get them all into? Now, a half, 17 over 24, 3/4 and 5/12. I could make them so that they were all 24ths. I can turn a 2 into a 24, I can turn a 4 into a 24, and I can turn a 12 into a 24. It's not always the case that it's the highest number in the question, but it's always worth checking first. If they don't all go into the highest number in the question, then have a think about your times table and look at other numbers that they would go into. So let's do this one together. So let's start with a half. I need to turn that into an equivalent fraction that's over 24. So what have I done to my 2 to make it a 24? I've timesed it by 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do the exact same to the top. So 1 times 12 is 12. So a half is an equivalent fraction to 12 24ths. So let's do the same with 3/4. I don't need to do anything with 17 over 24 because it's already in 24ths. So again, I need to make it an equivalent fraction over 24. So what have I done to a 4 to make it a 24? I've timesed it by 6. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do the same to the top. So 3 times 6 is 18. So 3/4 is equivalent to 18 24ths. Last one, 5/12. To turn this into an equivalent fraction over 24, so what have I done to a 12 to make 24? I've timesed it by 2. Whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do exactly the same to the top. So 5 times 2 is 10. So 5/12 is equivalent to 10 24ths. Now I've got them all in 24ths. Don't forget your original one that you didn't need to change. I need to put them in order. It says start with the smallest, so it wants it in ascending order. So the smallest is which has the smallest number on the top. Now my smallest one is 10/24ths. When I'm writing my final answer, I need to put it back into its original format. So the smallest one in this case will be 5/12ths. My next smallest one is 12/24ths, so my next smallest one is a half, followed by 17/24ths, followed by 18/24ths, which is 3/4. A question like this on a level 2 paper would be worth 3 marks. I would be getting 1 mark for making any 2 with the same denominator, 2 marks for making all of them the same denominator, and my 3rd mark is then for putting them in the right order. I need to have shown my process in order to get all 3 marks, so it's very important that you show all of your working out. Right, I would like you to have a go now. So pause the video, give these a go, and then restart and we'll discuss the answers. Okay, here's the answers. So on the right hand side here, I've got my equivalent fractions and then in order. My equivalent fractions and then in order. So hopefully that's helped you with any order and compare fractions questions. Any questions, please pop in the comments. I'm happy to answer. Best of luck with your studies and please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.